Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping into the world and really the wisdom of Annamalai Swami.
That's right.
He's a fascinating figure, maybe not widely known in some circles, but incredibly profound. Someone with very little sort of formal schooling. Yet he managed to communicate these deep spiritual truths in a way that's just so simple, so elegant, really direct.
And that connection with his guru, Sri Ramana Maharshi, is key, isn't it?
Absolutely essential. His later talks, they weren't theoretical. They came from, lived experience, a direct line.
Yeah, and that's what we want to tap into today. Our goal here isn't just like abstract philosophy.
Right.
We want to explore his core ideas, self-awareness, what the mind really is according to him,
Yeah.
and this whole journey back to our true nature.
Mhm.
And importantly, how this stuff actually applies, practical insights for navigating life, figuring out what's truly important, maybe finding a bit more peace.
Finding that deeper purpose. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. His early days.
Yeah, paint the picture.
Okay, imagine. 1928, Annamalai Swami, he's young, just 22. He arrives at Sri Ramana Maharshi's ashram.
Right.
And for 10 years, a full decade, he's completely dedicated to service. Just working, serving his guru, the community.
Total devotion.
Exactly. But then, 1938, huge shift. His guru tells him, basically, stop all the work. Go into solitary meditation.
Wow. After 10 years of constant activity.
Yeah. Quite a turn, isn't it? What was the significance of that?
Oh, it was absolutely pivotal. I mean, that solitude, that's where the real deepening happened for him. It led him to what he described as a continuous awareness of the self, just being that. Continuously. But what's really humble and quite striking is that even after reaching this state, he always said, he was just passing on his guru's instructions. They were his roadmap. His entire life was guided by that.
So he didn't see it as his realization, in a way.
More like he was embodying the guru's teaching. And Bhagavan, Ramana Maharshi, he explained this guru dynamic beautifully. He used to say something like, the physical guru is outside, telling you what to do, pushing you inwards towards the self.
Okay, the external push.
But at the same time, the inner guru, the self within, is pulling you towards itself.
The push and the pull.
Exactly. External guidance, internal draw, working together.
Okay, that makes sense. So let's unpack this central idea then, the self.
Yeah.
It's the core.
Absolutely,
right?
the core.
But it can sound so abstract.
Yeah.
The self. What did he actually mean by it? How did he make it, graspable?
He defined it very simply, fundamentally, as the one single reality behind all the diverse forms.
The single reality.
Oh, okay.
Still sounds a bit philosophical, maybe.
It can, because it's pointing to something that isn't just another object or concept, but his metaphor really cuts through that, the light bulbs one.
Oh, right. Tell us about that.
He'd say, look, you have all sorts of light bulbs, different shape sizes, wattages, but, he said, the current that activates and sustains them is the same. And his point was, you must learn to become one with this activating current, the unmanifest self, and not get caught up in all the names and forms that appear in it.
So don't just focus on the bulbs, the appearances.
Exactly. See the energy, the source, the current that makes them all possible? Look beyond the individual forms, our thoughts, feelings, identities, everything we perceive.
To the underlying energy.
Yes. Recognize that unifying current. It's not about denying the bulbs, but seeing what illuminates them.
That is a powerful image. The light bulb and the current. It really makes you stop and think.
Isn't it?
About looking past all the surface stuff,
Yeah.
all the ways we seem different, all our separate experiences.
The bulbs.
Yeah, the bulbs.
Yeah.
And seeing this underlying unity. If everything is just a manifestation of that same current. Wow. What does that mean for how we see the world? Each other.
It changes everything, potentially. Your whole perspective shifts.
Right, which leads perfectly into the next bit. This is where it gets really interesting, I think.
The transformation.
Yeah. Annamalai Swami talked about this massive shift when you truly become one with the self. What's that actually like? How does it feel day to day? Does your personality just vanish?
He described it as a great power taking over. Not in a forceful way, but like your life starts being managed by something bigger.
Managed? How so?
Well, he said this power handles your body, puts you in the right place at the right time, makes you say the right things almost automatically.
Without you planning it all out.
Precisely. The key is the dissolution of the ego's constant managing and decision-making. He put it very bluntly. The ego that thinks, I must do this or I should not do that, is no longer there.
Wow. That constant inner monologue. Gone.
Or at least not in the driver's seat anymore. The self simply animates you, he said, and makes you do all things that need to be done.
It just flows.
It flows. Imagine the mental energy freed up. No more agonizing over every little choice, no more second-guessing driven by fear or wanting.
That sounds incredibly liberating.
It's a different kind of agency. Actions arise from clarity, from that deeper current, not from the little I trying to control everything.
Living without that constant internal debate. The ego's chatter, judging, deciding, worrying, the amazing vision of freedom. But, okay, here's the paradox, isn't it?
The big question.
Yeah. If the self is our true reality, if it's always here, like the current, why is it so hard to find? Why do we struggle? It sounds like it should be easy, just be it. But for most of us,
it's definitely not easy. That's the million-dollar question in spiritual life.
Right.
And Annamalai Swami had such a relatable way of explaining this, the glasses metaphor.
The glasses, yes.
He said, imagine you're looking everywhere for your glasses, convinced they're lost. You search all day.
We've all done that.
Exactly. Eventually, he said, you realize that you were wearing them all the time. They were right there on your nose.
Oh, okay.
And he connects this. While the search was on, that which was being sought was, in reality, that through which the seeing was taking place.
Whoa. Say that again?
The thing you were looking for the glasses was actually the thing you were looking through.
The tool doing the seeing.
Precisely. You were looking for an object that finally turned out to be the subject that was doing the seeing. So it is with the mind and the self.
So the mind makes the self seem like an object out there to find.
Yes. It objectifies everything. That's its habit. But the self isn't an object. It's the subject. It's the awareness itself.
The awareness looking for awareness, that's the trap.
That's the trap, the ultimate blind spot created by the searching mind itself.
Okay, so if it's not an object, if searching is the problem, how do you get rid of the darkness, the not knowing? You can't exactly do anything to find something that isn't lost and isn't an object.
Exactly, you can't fight it. And this is where his insight is so useful. He talked about the nature of darkness itself.
Go on.
Darkness isn't a thing. It's not a substance you need to remove or battle. It's just the absence of light.
Right. Light comes, darkness is gone. Instantly.
Instantly. Because it has no reality of its own. And he applied this directly to our spiritual ignorance, our feeling of separation. He called it imaginary darkness.
Imaginary darkness. I like that.
He said, the self is not an object that you either see or don't see. It is there all the time, shining as our own reality.
Always shining.
Always. If you refuse to acknowledge its existence, if you refuse to believe that it is there, you put yourself in an imaginary darkness.
So we create the darkness by not looking at the light.
Essentially, yes. This self-inflicted ignorance is the darkness that has to be banished by the light of self-awareness. It's not a fight. It's a shift in attention, a willingness to acknowledge what's already here.
Wow. So stop fighting the imaginary darkness and just keep turning towards the light that's already on. Repeatedly. Consistently.
That's the practice, in essence, a constant turning inwards.
If the self isn't something we see with our eyes, how do we perceive it? You mentioned you talk about light and sound, not like physical light and sound.
No, not sensory in the usual way. He described the self's light as eternal and immanent, something that cannot be extinguished.
Okay.
Once you discover it within, he said, it will be on all the time. Think of it less like seeing a lamp and more like pure knowing, clarity itself, the awareness by which you see everything else.
The light of awareness itself.
Exactly. And then there's the soundless sound of the self.
Soundless sound. Intriguing.
He said the sound is happening in the self, but you can't hear it with your ears. It's not physical noise.
So how do you tune in?
It's more like an inner tuning or resonating. If you tune into this sound, that tuning in will lead you to the peace of the self. It's like feeling the vibration of pure stillness, maybe. The very essence of quiet.
It's subtle, very subtle.
Deeply subtle, beyond the normal senses, internal experiences pointing towards that ground of being.
A quiet light, a silent sound.
Yeah.
Both coming from within. Okay, so bringing us back to daily life, the mind, the endless chatter.
Yes, the monkey mind.
Everyone struggles with this, right? And lots of teachings say you have to fight it, control it, wrestle it into submission.
Right. Discipline the mind.
Yeah. How did Annamalai Swami and Bhagavan see this? Was it a battle for them?
Bhagavan's view was pretty radical, actually, and quite liberating. He basically said, mind is just a shadow.
A shadow?
Yeah. Attempts to catch it and control it are futile. They are just shadows chasing shadows. These are just children's games.
Wow. So trying to control the mind is like trying to grab smoke.
Pretty much. He argued there's no need to engage in a war against the mind because mind does not have any real fundamental existence.
No fundamental existence.
It's a projection, like the images on a movie screen, not solid, not real in itself. So why fight it?
That completely reframes the struggle, doesn't it? No war needed.
Exactly. The effort isn't in fighting, it's in recognizing its nature.
So Annamalai Swami's advice then was, just switch it off, like a projector.
That was his metaphor. To see the truth that all is one and indivisible with the infinite eye of the self, you just switch off the projector of the mind. Stop feeding the projection.
And he had the torch metaphor, too.
Yeah.
Right.
Another great one. You stumble around in the darkness of your mind, not knowing that you have a torch in your hand.
We don't realize we have the light already.
Right. That light is the light of the self. Switch it on and leave it on, and you will never stumble again.
Switch it on and leave it on. Continuous awareness.
It boils down to a choice, moment by moment.
Okay.
He said, you only have one real choice, to be aware of the self or to identify with the body and the mind. That's it.
Be the awareness or be caught in the movie projected by the mind.
Precisely. Don't chase the thoughts. Don't suppress them. Just withdraw attention from them. Turn back to the source. Turn off the projector. See the screen.
That sounds deceptively simple. Just switch attention.
Deceptively simple is a good way to put it.
Because while it sounds easy, he also said it takes effort, right? Many years of steadfast effort for most people.
Yes, he was very clear about that. It's not usually an instant switch flip.
So how do those fit together? The simplicity of the choice and the need for years of effort. Is it just hard work, grinding it out?
It's effort, but maybe not hard work in the sense of struggle or fighting. He used another powerful metaphor, walking away from home.
Okay.
He said, imagine you leave your house, start walking away, and you keep doing that for years and years. You get really far away.
Lost, basically.
Pretty lost. When you finally decide you've had enough and that you want to go back, don't be discouraged by the length of the journey and don't slacken your efforts.
Turn around.
Yes. Turn 180 degrees and face the source and keep moving back to where you started. Keep moving back to your source and don't let anything distract you on the way.
So the effort is the constant turning back.
Yeah.
The constant not getting distracted by the old habit of walking away.
Exactly. It's sustained redirection. Unwavering focus on returning to the source despite the mind's momentum pulling you outwards.
That makes sense. Persistent redirection. And he also used the river metaphor, didn't he? Which sounds more natural, less like effort.
He did, and it adds another layer. Be like a river on its journey back to the sea.
How so?
It doesn't stop, take diversions, or decide to flow uphill for a while. It just moves slowly and steadily back to the place from where its waters originated.
Just flows downstream, naturally.
Naturally, steadily. And when the river dissolves in the ocean, the river is no more. Only the ocean remains.
Oh. So it's like the effort is in setting the direction, turning 180 degrees. But once you're oriented towards the source, there's a natural pull, a natural flow like the river going to the sea.
Beautifully put. It's a blend of that steadfast commitment, keep facing the source, don't get diverted, and trusting the natural gravitation back to our essential being.
Wow. Okay. So wrapping this up, Annamalai Swami's message, it feels incredibly profound, yet grounded, simple at its core.
Very much so.
The self is who we are, not something to find out there.
But something to recognize in here.
By turning awareness away from the mind's movie, back to the screen, back to the source. And the journey isn't necessarily a battle, but a persistent, steady, almost natural return, like the river.
A return home.
A return home, which leaves us with maybe a final thought for everyone listening.
Yeah, something practical to consider.
If the self, this light, is always shining within,
always on,
and the darkness is just imaginary, created by not looking,
our self-inflicted ignorance.
Right. Then what tiny shift in awareness, just a small one, could you make today? Right now even. How could you start, banishing that imaginary darkness? When you feel caught in thought or facing a decision, how could you just for a moment try to switch on the torch, acknowledge that quiet awareness that's witnessing it all?
It's not about a huge dramatic effort, is it?
No. Maybe just a subtle turn, a little reminder, a quiet acknowledging of the current beneath the bulbs.
A gentle return, again and again. That's the journey.